The distinction in hypnotherapy lies in its unique approach to solving life's problems. Traditionally, we are taught to believe we can solve all problems by learning the answer to why. Hypnotherapy has a uniquely different perspective to human behaviors.
The whys behind behaviors you exhibit are not important in hypnotherapy. Knowing why doesn't automatically suggest how to remove what is causing the problem. To promote healing, you need to know how to separate from what ails you. Only then can you develop new ways to respond that are healthy and helpful. After all, if you've sought therapy, it generally means you're seeking a way out of suffering you can no longer tolerate. You want a solution, not merely the resolve to put up with something deemed intractable. In other words, you want healing. Hypnotherapy uses hypnosis to help you achieve healing effectively. Since the hypnotherapist does not diagnose, you receive no labels to hang your complaints on. On the contrary, you have to face your issues, but the hypnotherapist helps you by reframing old beliefs into new ones as the means to alleviate your suffering. Hypnotherapy is effectively a goal and outcome-oriented process in which the client and therapist collaborate. The goal is to relieve suffering or change negative behaviors. The hypnotherapist serves as your guide and facilitator, helping you figure out what does and does not work for you, then using trance work to rewrite the software in a way that stimulates change. The outcome is an immediate change in attitudes or behaviors that removes blocks and reduces suffering.
Lani scheduled an appointment to ask for help with a weight problem. As the intake interview ensued, Lani disclosed that 3 years ago she had been a victim of rape by a stranger while she was walking through the park. Although legal justice had been served and the rapist was now in prison, Lani's life continued to be a struggle. She had been in psychotherapy for the 3 years since, but still could not get over the trauma of the event. Consequently, she had developed disordered eating habits, which had graduated to an eating disorder. Disordered eating occurs when a person is obsessed with food most of her waking hours. That leads to eating excessively, in unusual amounts or at inappropriate intervals. An eating disorder is a disease with more specific symptoms. It turns out her marriage was in jeopardy, as was her sexuality. Knowing the why did not help her resolve the pain. The pain was emotional and spiritual. Lani went through about 12 hours of hypnotherapy, each session going into trance and regressing to the what piece of emotional trauma that had hurt her. In each session, I guided her to reclaim the spiritual part of herself that was left behind or stolen from her in the assault. With each session, she healed a little more. After each experience of retrieving her spirit, she felt more whole. Several weeks after ending her sessions with me, she cell-phoned to happily inform me she was at that moment walking in the park, that very same park, and she felt safe. A few weeks of therapy was all she had needed to get her life moving forward again. Imagine 12 hours of hypnotherapy compared to 3 years of psychological counseling.
Hypnotherapy facilitates changed behaviors, making you happier and healthier. Like a car, you have to drive it to move it. Sitting in the bus without a driver will get you nowhere, and letting someone else drive may cause you to arrive where you don't want to go.
I remember when I left high school, a friend wrote in my autograph book, quote, "Anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve," unquote. Though she didn't know it, she was describing the magic of hypnosis. That inscription has given me the inspiration to be as successful as I can imagine. What good intentions my friend had for me. It was many years later that I began to understand how the human mind works in mysterious ways.
Most people seeking hypnotherapy are seeking to find ways to manage unpleasant situations or change unhealthy behaviors. Hypnotherapy helps alleviate suffering from physical pain, emotional trauma, and spiritual emptiness. It can help you lose weight, end abuse of alcohol or other chemicals, and terminate or modify relationships in which you have allowed yourself to be abused or disrespected. Hypnosis has also been used for persons in palliative care to eliminate the fear of dying and to help women have comfortable childbirth experiences.